Have you guys ever been with somebody who's a total gossip and then they like get offended when other people are gossiping about them? Or, like they're so big of a gossip and they're like, oh my gosh, I would never gossip. And it's like, you were just gossiping all day. You know what I mean? We have thoughts in our heads that we go through that may veer on the judgy side or, just being kind of negative person, like mean or judgy really is a good way, because even whether you're being mean or not, like making a judgment is still making a judgment. So it's like, why are we noticing things in other people? We are reflections of we are reflecting our inner on the outer. Everything's connected. Everything's it's the yin and the yang. So we know these things, and we know that's why we can look at our judgments and we can learn from them. So being a judgmental person, we're not having this shadow, from that and saying, oh, well, that's bad. We're bad. We're being negative. We're being in the dark of our personalities. Like, why are we doing this? It's no longer a mystery. We know we are good. We know we can get good out of bad. And we know that we do that on a regular basis through doing our shadow work. So it's about taking, the bad and making it good in any given situation. And it doesn't matter where you're criticizing someone, where you're passing judgment on them. And it'll be yourself sometimes, it'll be others. And it's very, very valuable to you. It's very, very valuable. So don't be mad at yourself for doing it. It's very natural. We're made to do this. And the shadow work, the deal with the shadow work is whenever our ancestors, were coming up and they were finding out how to do things, they were experiencing all the little things, as a new conscious being, a more conscious being. We're just getting more and more conscious here. This is what we're doing. It's all about being conscious. So these basically animals had slowly over time been changing, into bigger brains, like more abstract thinkers and things like this. And so you have an animal essentially that is, we're all animals, you have an animal that is essentially now, and I mean, you can't underestimate the herd, like the pack mentality, so how, when you're very just first becoming like to where I feel like you're taking that step into being like a conscious, like more human instead of an animal, just an animal, I guess you could say, is whenever you are able to create art or we are able to have the abstract thought. And at that point is right when we started to have the language and we started to have the art and the extra communication, because when they were making these beads, some of the earliest art, beads, things to wear, just different things. And a lot of that really has to do with, anthropologically, which I love anthropology. It should be taught in all high schools. Anyway, it's one of those things where it's actually maybe partially, at least, the theory is that they're, maybe an extended group, maybe their group's getting bigger and now they have enough where they want to differentiate. Wait, are you part of my group or not? Because it's natural for our minds to do that, is to always be asking, are they part of my group or not? Like, is this situation safe or not? Is this my kind of people or not? And we do that in so many ways and we're not even conscious of it. But then that natural tendency in this day and age kind of plays itself out as, oh, they're not in my group, they're not in my group. It's just a little bit different now. It gets a little snarky these days and age. It can. Anyway, so, but again, we're not judging ourselves for doing this. We're just getting a rein on it. We're, instead of being the gossipy person and passing and sitting there talking about people passing judgment, we all know people, you don't want to be that person. We all know that everybody fucks up. We fuck up. Do you really want people sitting around focusing on your fuck ups? No, we don't want that for others to do to us. And why would we do that to others? Like, that's just drama. That's just negative thinking. That's living in your shadow. We don't live in our shadow. We use our shadow to transmute the energy and to transmute everything into the positive, because we like to stay in the positive. We are positive beings. We are practicing law of attraction. I mean, come on. So we use our judgments. We transmute that energy and we use it for self-discovery, for knowledge, for thoughts and power, and be able to change our minds. When we change our minds, we can change our emotions. When we change our emotions and our minds, we can change our beliefs. When you change our beliefs, you can change your expectations and your results under what happens to you. And then you change your confidence and your beliefs and your spirituality, and then you're a whole different person, and it's amazing. I mean, you're still you. But there's, again, I recommend doing a list for this. And I might have, like I said, some worksheets coming out in the future, but it's pretty simple. You just go through, make a list. How am I criticizing others? Okay. How are you, and you can do it however you want. You can do your list however you want anyway. You could just say, how am I being a negative person? How am I gossiping? How am I, passing judgment right now? Where am I criticizing others? Where am I being overly critical? If I'm going to be honest with myself, and I am, because why not? You look at others. Are they cheating? Are they stealing? Are they being disrespectful? Write it down. Just write down respect. If they're criticizing you, write that down. Anything that's bugging you, you're just checking in with yourself. Anything that's bugging you, are they lying? Do you think they're lying? Do you not trust them? Is the vibe weird? Are you arguing? Do they not value? Somebody being a pushover, not paying attention, drinking too much, getting too excited, too overly emotional, too loud, too judgmental, too obsessive, too unhealthy, ignoring people, being selfish, not being generous, being vague, being stingy, working too hard. Third party can be, other people, cheating, people, just like getting into their jobs or getting into gambling, like anything, too obsessive, it's all cheating. Not communicating your inner feelings, not being able to admit even what's bothering them, being cliche, being annoying, just being shallow. All these things, we could pass judgment on others, we could pass them on ourselves. It doesn't matter. We use them both. They're all signs. Everything's a sign. Your emotions are signs. What happens to you is signs. Your actions, your creations, it all tells a story. You can find out little things out of all of it. That's the beauty of life every day, to be going deeper into the actual things that matter, the actual things about life that we're supposed to be doing, like learning and living and loving and laughing and dancing, shaking the booty. You know what I mean? Singing. It's all connected. This is what everybody's like, oh, focus on the chakra, this and that chakra. No, it really, it can be just more of a simple everything. You're doing something with your hands. You're doing something with your legs. You're doing something with your mind. You're doing something with your heart. You're doing something with your body. You're doing something with your passion. You're doing something with your relationship. You're doing something that, you do it all. You're holistic. You are a whole being with a whole lot of ideas, a whole lot of habits, a whole lot of energy, for real. And it manifests in different ways, and you want to go with that. Variety is the spice of life. We don't overindulge in certain things. We don't over obsess about certain things. We take care of our business, okay? And whatever you do for other people, you can do it, like I said, for yourself, and you could learn. If you're looking at yourself, that's even better. You're able to do that. That's a deeper stage. That's a higher level. You also do this. You don't just do this for now. How am I feeling now? What adjustments am I doing now? What am I doing now? You want to do that. You want to do it often. I would say at least once a week. Check in with yourself. Make your list. Some people like to do videos, whatever. Just like talk it out with yourself, however you can process and deal with things the best. Follow your own intuition. Do it for the now, but you also have to make some time and not only keep up with the now and do that little housekeeping, but you need to go back into the past and do the past too. And you may have to keep on going into the past. You may have to delve into the past for a month. Some people have big things they need to deal with in their past. It might take a while. And then you got to go deal with other stuff in your past. And that might take some more time. It's a process. It's a journey. Then you may start to realize, oh, I think I'm done with everything from my past. And then you'll be like, well, wait, what about this little thing and that little thing and that little thing? Clean up house, clean up house, clean up house. Can always get cleaner, can always get better, can always get more efficient. Always get more efficient. And amazing, beautiful. So shadow work is the way to go. You can carry it with you. You can use it as a tool. I do not like to go very long, more than a few days, without at least doing a very basic check-in. Hey, Claire, how you feeling? How you doing? What's up? What's going on? How do you feel about your childhood? How do you feel about life? How do you feel about your partner? How do you feel about your kids? what's going to bubble up, what's going to come out. Let yourself express yourself. That's part of why I love doing these videos. I highly recommend doing videos as a self-tool, even if you're not going to show them and post them. As a self-tool, pretend that you are, see what you would say. Like, this self-discovery, you know, we don't, oh yeah, we're grown up, we're adults now, we know ourselves. No, we're still continuing to, you know, understand and to love and to, you know ourselves at a deeper level, just like everybody else is. You know, I've been with my twin flame for 10 years. My kids have been around for 15 years. We are still learning and loving and growing within each other. You never stop growing. You never stop learning. And if you do, then you might as well be dead. Don't stop. That's not what we're here for. Being stuck, to me, being just completely stuck and stagnant in life is one of the saddest things. I would almost rather be dead than to be stuck and stagnated. Ugh, I have chills again. So make your list. Here's another thing you can do, you guys. You can do this at any given time. If you have a favorite show, if you have a show you watch all the time, this show says something to you. It says something about you, okay? In one way, shape, or form, for good or for bad, right? So what happens is, take your paper, make a shadow list there. Any judgment, write it down, type it down, speak it in the breaks into your notes in your phone. I don't care how you do it. Just pay attention to it. And then, you know, you can do that. Oh, you know, you're just hanging out, you're just relaxing, you're watching TV. You just make the list, then you deal with it later. You come back and you say, oh yeah, this is that list I made. Let's check it out when I'm ready to do some more work. Let's check it out. Let's start with the first thing. Okay, number 1, you know, and then you work with it and you frame it and you do the work, you do the shadow work, which I still really haven't gotten into, but I guess this is as good a time as any, right? So, hold on just a sec. I'm actually going to take a moon card right now. Excuse me. Sparkling water. Okay. Yes. Extra signs and knowledge. Work through your fears. Love it. Pisces moon. New moon in Scorpio. We had a Pisces full moon. That's interesting. That's some water energy. Water energy going on. Yeah, I'm just getting this energy. These claws, they're not pincing, they're not grasping onto things that, you know, like a lot of times we think of claws. Oh, it's not letting go. No. This is getting in there, doing that work. Deal with it. Deal with those things in front of you that you know you need to deal with. Deal with it. Deal with it. Get it from behind, get it from the front. Get it from behind, just work it out. You're making it happen. You're doing it. Okay? And having these tools and knowing and understanding and then following through is putting the puzzle together. It will get you immediate results in some way, shape, or form. If you're looking for the results, if you're keeping an open mind to the energy that is the universe and how this is working for you, you will start to see immediate results. If not, they may be small things. It may be little pop-up here and there, little, hey, this could be a sign. You never know. Just to test you and see how you're going to take it. And if you take it as a sign, you're on the right track because you know that you're in control. Even if it wasn't how the way the universe is, you're in control and you're making it that way. So, we get our pens, we get our papers, we make our list, or sometimes you just know. You just got something bubbling up right now. We're going to deal with it right now. You know, you go back to your past, you say, now is the time we're going to do some shadow work on the past, which is basically inner child healing work. So you go and you just say, you know what? And sometimes I do this stuff while I'm driving. You don't have to be, you know, oh, meditate in a Zen room for 5 hours and give your whole night and make it a thing. And yeah, maybe, you know, if you got something big, if you still haven't dealt with that big thing that happened as a child, then, you know, maybe take a little time for that one. You know what I mean? But as you go, it gets easier and easier. And like I said, even just watching TV, you can learn from every little thing, every little thought. You don't have to like figure everything out. You don't have to have a master plan. You just go through it. It's just like check it off. It literally is just like check it off, go through it. Oh, they were doing that? Well, so you go in and you flip it. It's about the shadow. It's about the yin and the yang. It's about the light and the dark. the shadow. The shadow is only there because there's the absence of light. The light is being blocked somehow. So it's giving us this sign of being something that we know we need to deal with, whether it's an emotional coming up or somebody else is telling us something. So we have to intellectually try to deal with it and process it. And, whatever it is, this is how it works. Even if you can't understand, that's why we look at it. That's why we dissect it. That's why you take whatever it is and you flip it. You flip the switch. You say, this is true. Because you're going to be, okay, criticizing. So-and-so is being critical. Well, so-and-so's being critical. I'm being critical. A lot of times, that's all you need for shadow work. Bam, done. Oh, I'm being a hypocritical bitch too? How the hell am I going to be mad at them? Let's move on. Check, done, off the list, move on. Sometimes that's as simple as that. Or you'll be like, okay, well, somebody's cheating. Well, so-and-so's cheating. Well, I'm cheating. Oh, okay, that was our last example. Or sometimes it could be like, so-and-so's cheating. Okay, that's the thing that brought you here. That's the trigger. That's the thing, the shadow, the thing that you're dealing with. So then you say, okay, they're cheating, and then you say, they're not cheating. Then even just doing that, sometimes you can be like, you know what? It's kind of absurd. Why am I even thinking that they're cheating? Why am I even thinking that right now? Like, all signs don't point to that. Like, I'm being over dramatic. And then you fix it. And then as simple as that, you can move on and fix it from there. You can do this with everything. Okay? Sometimes it's going to be something else random that you're going to figure out. You flip it into 4 ways. At least 4 ways. Sometimes there's 6 or more ways that you can flip things. But you just take the subject and then you flip it with you and them. Sometimes you can even flip it with other people. Flip it with, oh, is that what he wants or is that what his mom wants? That sort of thing. And then you can also flip it into a positive or a negative. So they are doing something or they're not doing something. It's very simple. I always think about it as a grid. So you have your one thing, your way of seeing something, whatever's bothering you, whatever's bubbling up, it's going to show up here. And then you flip it, the one way, and then you flip it another way, and then there's another way. There's even more ways that you can see things. So, another example, disrespect is the big one. This is something that I've noticed for myself is a big deal for me. I notice it'll come up with numerous different people and it's the same energy. It's the same issue. So it's popping up. I'm like, okay, they're being disrespectful. Am I being disrespectful? Shit. Yes, I am. That's where, you need to spend your time, energy, focus, thoughts, get that right. You know it. And then you can even keep going. They're being disrespectful. I'm being disrespectful, they're not being disrespectful, then that gets you to think about and actually appreciate and notice and put attention to, which will help you receive more, to notice, wow, remember these times when they're doing this, then they were really respectful. And then you're like, yes, you go. See, they do care. See, they do respect you. See, maybe it all is in my head. Maybe I'm being over dramatic. Maybe I'm putting beliefs onto them that they don't even feel. It happens all the time. This is like, check yourself before you motherfucking wreck yourself. Or is it riggedy wreck yourself? Check yourself before you riggedy wreck yourself. They're being disrespectful. Hell, I'm being disrespectful. I forgive them. Move on. Or keep going. They're being disrespectful. I'm being disrespectful. They're not being disrespectful. And I'm not being disrespectful either. It's this. That's the problem. It's, you learn, you grow, you toss things around. It's like you toss it around, you kind of learn from all sides like what it is. It's like a bear gumming. What is this? I can't even tell what it is. I'm gonna feel it out a little bit. You know what I mean? Play around with it. It's a really weird example, and I don't even know why it came up right now, but it's hilarious. Do this with any judgments that you have, any judgments. And again, you may have a whole sheet like this for, you know, after you watched a show. Well, she was being a dumb bitch. Okay, I'm being a dumb bitch. Ooh. It doesn't hurt after a while because you know that you become so secure with yourself because you know your intentions are so good that anything you can put on yourself isn't even that bad. You deal with it. You're just getting better and better and better, and it feels so great to do that. It feels so great to call yourself out. It feels so great to clean out your wounds. I'm about to cry. Like, it's actually really making me kind of emotional right now and giving me chills because it's a powerful thing. This shadow work, I didn't even know the term shadow work. I've been doing this process for a very long time. In fact, I was with the person I had an abusive relationship with in the past, and I had got a self-help book from the library one day, and that book, it's not like I hate you, don't leave me. My memory is getting so bad. It's something along those lines. I don't think it's I hate you, don't leave me, but it's like, oh my gosh. I just can't even remember. It's been so long. But that book actually brought up the opposites, and I don't know what she called it or whatever it was, but it was like flipping the switch just like this is what it was. Honestly, I wish I could remember that. Maybe you guys can help me out with that someday. Figure this out. But then I started applying it, you know, to the past and to different things, and it's just like it's such a great practice to get into. So yeah, I'm gonna check the door. Somebody's knocking on my door. So I'll be back with another video soon. Thanks.